I have often wondered, why don't real estate investors, real estate agents, brokers, appraisers, people in the real estate business, why don't you own some home services businesses? You are already cutting 4 and sometimes 5 figure checks to these people. Why not own one? Why not build a portfolio of one? Why not leverage your network to create work and work orders and just sop up all that extra work and income? I believe home services businesses are on the come up, on the takeoff. Bo, what's going on, man? What do you think about this crazy idea?
I like it. And I never thought I'd be a part owner of a towel and grout restoration franchise. But I love it because it's like it sharpens your skills as a leader, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And now that I'm in the industry to a certain degree, I find it very fascinating on how it all works, and really, it's really sharpening my skill sets every single week when we get together with the operator of the business. From meeting with the company that does the lead generation, what's coming in organically, from like what is customer acquisition, how much does it cost us to get a customer that actually closes, what is an average ticket, how do we increase the average ticket of a deal, and then really unit economics, right? Like when I look at any home service franchise, it's start with a truck and a tech or two, right? And what's the potential of that truck? So our business, it's somewhere between 22,000 to $28,000 per truck per month of top line revenue,
Okay.
right? So we know we want to in our territories that we own, we probably can have 4 or 5 because it's a two big territories.
Hmm.
So you just do the math there. What's cost of labor? What's cost of good? In our business, our cost of goods is very low. So then we have it so dialed in with that third party company we work with, where we can see where the leads are coming from. We know when we go on a booked appointment, what our closing percentage, what are we closing when we go and actually do a quote in person,
Mhm.
and then we're fine tuning it. So like building bundles of like instead of just offering one service line, say, hey, we can do it like this and bundle it, and getting our average ticket where we think our average ticket should go up. It's we're 7 months in, it's about $1,100 per job. We feel like we can get it up to 18 to a $2,000 per job
Mm.
as an average ticket, right? So you move that up through learning the business and so forth. What else is really exciting is once you learn the interior, there's an exterior vertical where we do around the pools and stuff.
Sure.
So we haven't even bolted that on yet because we haven't trained our technicians in that. And then the best part though is once we get into the commercial game, uh, the franchise we work with has a partnership with this proprietary kind of sealant for floors for like casinos and things like that. That is going to be a huge average ticket. So I'm really excited to see it because we can do this. My one of my business partners identified a guy in the franchise, and he's doing this. He has like he actually owns. I heard Vegas. He owns like 4 or 5 conglomerates nationally,
Mm.
right? And so like you can really start with one, understand how it builds, and then build a little mini empire. So you might have a location. We have ours in New York. You could have one in Jersey, and these little clusters could each be doing, million, 2 million top
Yeah.
line revenue, right? And
This is
so
something I've looked at for a while. And again, I have lots of my personal network of real estate investors, flippers, wholesalers, and buy and hold, all of that. Obviously know a bunch of appraisers and bankers and all of that stuff too. But I've often wondered why, like especially flippers, right? Flippers today are having a hard time, right? Rates are higher, demand is down. And I've often wondered, why don't flippers kind of spin up their business to really have another income stream, another revenue stream? And again, those home services businesses are actually lead flow, right? Again, a lot of times people come in and want to clean up their house because they're getting ready to sell it, or you know the kids on the East Coast want to clean it up to flip it or to sell it because mom and dad passed away. They don't want to come back and manage it, right? Again, the ability to create contact points with customers and then have many ways to outsource them, that's how you win this game, right? The more ways that you can create income stream off a single point of contact is a winning strategy, hence the portfolio you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I think it all depends on the season you're in, right? Obviously, you're not going to probably be a good candidate to open a business. You're at a way different season
Yeah, no,
than the average American. But the mid-career person that's like, well, I have a 401k, but nothing really much, might have one or two rental properties. So your trajectory is not that you're not going to really have what you set out to do towards those retirement years. So we have to do something,
yeah,
right? And usually that furnace is, yes, we can drop expenses, but it's usually bringing more cash flow so we can then reinvest that excess cash flow. So
agreed.
here's some industries that I think are interesting. One is the tile and grout, which we're in. Commercial painting, we've talked about.
Hmm.
Lawn care and exterior service businesses. These lawn care businesses,
Oh,
these
just reoccurring. Yeah.
yes, and they're some of them are bolting on the commercial side, and these franchises mature. I was just on with the largest conglomerate of franchises, which is called Neighborly Brands. They own like 19 verticals of
Wow.
franchises,
Good for
HVAC.
them.
They're huge. They've got like, I mean, they're just a multi-billion-dollar organization, the biggest home service conglomerate of franchises.
Hmm.
And what I've noticed, I was just on a call or Zoom where they're educating us on some of their brands, but a lot of their service lines over time, once they figure it out, they then, like, for example, the pest control company, they were only doing exterior only. Now they're bringing, like, they're going to bring in other verticals. So it helps the franchise owners grow, right? A
Of
lot of
course. Yeah.
window washing companies, they mature, they go, hey, we're doing mostly residential. Let's start going after national accounts as a franchisor so we can bring that revenue to our franchise owners, right? Everybody wins under that model. You'll see these companies also bolt on like holiday lighting. And you'd be like, why? Because it's pretty darn lucrative if you look at the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
So that's another great industry. Commercial painting. And then I had in here what other the I think I had five. Yeah, I had lawn care. So the top one was tile and grout, two commercial painting, three lawn care and exterior services, four residential and commercial window cleaning, five dryer vent cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
Super, like, it's a simple business model. There's a good amount of fires from dryer vent. Nobody really thinks about it, but like,
No, yeah.
have you ever noticed when your dryer like doesn't dry your clothes after a while? It's because your dryer vent's stuff. So
Mm.
these companies come in, they either clean the dryer vent, they set up the routing, they do it in multifamily homes.
Hmm.
Simple, you don't need any specialty licensing, boring business. So what does it take? What are the key factors that you really want to be? Like when we give people business assessments, really the ones that seem to really excel are usually achievers.
Mm.
When there's some competencies in there. Achievers are usually ones that really are probably the ones that would probably excel the fastest in his home service business because you have to understand all these components, right? It's not like, hey, I'm going to own a franchise that's going to magically run. Like you
Hmm.
have to roll your hands up and like understand all the mechanics. That's why I'm enjoying what we're doing with the tile and grout franchise because I can see scale. And I think that's once you understand that, that's how you can go from, and it's the same thesis with real estate. Like in the beginning, owning your first rental and getting your tenant in for the first time was stressful.
Yeah.
Now, how many times have you done it now where it's now outsourced for you, but it's like part of the game? That's how you
Yep.
scale from 4 rental units to 8 to 80, like you did, because you
Yep.
understand scale. You have to think the same way in business ownership.
No, I couldn't agree more. And again, I think we're seeing a lot more people come after business services. Obviously, Cody Davis is making a big push on that now. Alex Ramosi, things of that nature. Home services is I think it's where the next millionaires are coming from. Wall Street Journal ran an article a couple months ago talking about plumbers and electricians being the next millionaires. I actually just went to an event. I was sitting at the table with my plumber in Fresno, and little known. He has a car collection well over $2 million as a plumber. And he loves sending out videos of his car collection to all these college graduates and MBAs, just saying, yeah, I'm just a lowly plumber. And, he's got a Lambo, Ferrari, Porsche, and a bunch of 1960s and trucks and stuff. So it's a very lucrative business. And yeah, home services is where it's at. I think there's going to be a lot more millionaires made there going forward.
I mean, it's just tried and true, recession resistant. And AI is not going to kill the industry. It's going to really
I think it's going to
complement.
turbocharge it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can implement it, it's going to turbocharge it. And the last thing I'll say on this, which is interesting, is all these business models, with the right franchise, you can get 90% financing, which covers working capital and everything. So like I'm talking about people that have good credit, a little bit outside income. They can get into these business models for $15,000 to $30,000 out of pocket.
Wow.
So you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars. I prefer these business models over brick and mortar any day of the week. And
Yeah.
just, you have to understand like how to be a business owner. You have to develop and you have to be coachable. If you're coachable, like that's what we do. We go in and we have a gentleman in our franchise, and he's like the coach, and he knows how to scale your business. If you want to be a top line 7-figure earner, he's going to get you there. So we're on they have a forum with all the other franchise owners. Our guy is on it, asking questions.
Nice.
We're getting on with the president of the brand. Like, you have to do that stuff. If you're just sitting back passively, you're not going to be successful. You got to be like, have that drive. You have to have that drive.
Yeah, love it. Again, folks, I think the future opportunity is in home services. Again, if you want to start with one and then build a portfolio, I think that's genius. Little mini Wall Street empire you're building. Bo, if somebody wanted to reach out, take an assessment, see what's what, see where they fit, what do they do?
OneRentalMeeting.com. It's that simple.
Folks, he bought a URL just for you. Yes, you. Go to OneRentalMeeting.com right there on the lower end of the screen. Thanks, family.
Thank you.